Hi guys, Chris the Natural Progressive, and I have a very special guest with me. I have Shonda from the Accidental Activist, which will be a brand new show on. It will be running on Uphill Media, right?
Yep, Uphill Media, the Accidental
Nice.
Activist.
Yes, and we're all going to be on Rockfin, thanks to our wonderful Oz, um, the Wizard of Oz, that helps us so much. By the
Indeed.
way, he's in the chat, so everyone say hi to him. And of
Hey,
course, I have
Oz.
Whitney from the Green Report, who will also be, featured on Uphill Media. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty damn sure. And we haven't talked about that recently, but you're going to be on Uphill Media, correct?
Not anytime soon, but maybe in the future.
Oh no, he will put you on Rockfin on Uphill Media as one of the channels if you want to be.
It depends. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Anyway,
Okay.
Oz is in the audience. Vegematic is here. TCR, Kim Centeno, Cindy Seeley, the Salt Lakers, Bio, of course. Valhalla 56 is in the house. Gazar is here. Hello, Gazar. Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? Boyd Sling. Boyd, I hate pronouncing your name. Put your earplugs in. Okay. Sorry. Good thing I went through that. Okay. I'm doing it, Oz, just for you. Okay. All right. Hopefully that's better because it's really echoey if I don't do that. So hopefully everyone can hear better and it's not echoey. But anyway, um, thanks for the reminder, Oz. Appreciate it because I totally forgot. I did remember to hook my microphone up. Oh, I'm Sweet Leaf is in the house. Bouncing between here and Jimmy Dore. God, I know. I hate it. Jimmy Dore always crashes my damn show. Damn it.
Right?
That's so rude. Jimmy? Damn it, Jimmy. I mean, I got Graham Elwood to stop it. Mostly. But
They're all sweethearts, can I tell you that? I've dealt with Jimmy a couple of times and they're just so cool. Him, Steph, Ron,
Ron and
all of
and,
them,
and Graham. I mean,
and
God,
Graham.
I love Graham. Graham's been on my show once before, and
That's cool.
yeah, it is really cool. Um, Also Black Bear News. I know most of my people love Black Bear News. Rich Diana's here as well. Checking. Chris Foster's here. Hello, Chris Foster. He stays up really late or gets up really early. One or the other. He's in Yorkshire. So he's on a different time
Wow.
zone. Totally.
Look at you going global.
Oh, I'm totally global. Veg is on time for a change. Yeah, and I'm late when you're on time. Sorry, Veg.
Veg is saying sweet things in the chat if you didn't see.
Well, Veg is amazing. I've been scrolling up, so I probably missed a lot. Did I say hello to Rich Diana? I'm not sure. Um, oh my gosh. Anyway, it's so good to see all you guys. Three lovely ladies. Aw, aw. Veg is so sweet. Um, okay, I'm still back up where put your plugs in. TCR Galaxy. Did I say hi to TCR Galaxy? Says hi, Chris, Veg, Kim, Oz, Val. I know you met Whitney and Shonda too, but they're. I mean, Whitney's here, but Shonda's new. Um, let's see. Who am I missing? I think we got Hans Asperger. Hello, good evening. Is Globocop?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. We're all over the place. Oz, thank you very
Globocop.
much. Thank you very much. Oz's wife, I don't know if y'all know, but she does this. Oh, Kelly Lane is in the house. Hold on. Let me grab her really quick. But Oz's wife, Joey, makes coffee. And I'm sorry, you need to enjoy some luxuries once in a while. And good coffee is very important. Oz's wife, Joey, makes amazing coffee. She'll make it to order. And it's a special treat for us. We do it on the weekends. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Kelly.
But it's Joey's roaster.
Casual here.
I didn't put makeup on today, so it's like Screw it. I did put a little lip stuff on. That's it.
Me
Screw it.
too.
I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Um, Shonda's
I
looks
love
amazing though, and I'm jealous.
I love your hair though. You're blonde, you usually have it blonde, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, my hair.
I'm talking to Christine.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, mine's.
You look all put together. Yeah.
I know Shonda's hair looks way better than mine, but no, I've just let it go gray. This is my
It's
natural.
so cool.
It's
I
all
would
natural.
so do. Yeah, it looks good. We're the same age, aren't we?
I'm 49. How old are you?
I just turned 49 in April.
See, yeah, we're
But-
the same age.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm too vain to let mine won't do what yours does. I'm like light brown here, and I just have it at the roots.
Well, I
So-
dyed it all light colored first and then just let it grow out because I was getting like all white roots. It's like, screw it, dye it.
I think it looks
and
great.
let
It was
go.
kind of a trend for a while. Remember, like
I
young-
know. Now it's
young-
not the trend. I do it and it's not the trend anymore. Fuck it.
That's okay. When you get to be our age, you just wait for them to cycle back around again, and then you're cool. And
Oh
then it's
yeah,
like-
I mean, what is it? 80s trends are coming back in style with the high-waisted jeans and all that.
Oh.
That's all coming back in, right?
yeah.
I never stopped wearing them.
That's cool.
Wait, how old are you? Does anybody have a problem with it?
Oh, I'm 27.
No,
I know you're young.
I
I
know.
thought you were
Thanks,
closer to her
Whitney,
age.
young person.
Oh,
I thought you were closer to Whitney's age. How old are you, Chanda?
I'm 46.
You are? Oh my God.
She
Okay,
looks
well,
amazing for
Yeah, you
46.
do.
yeah.
You do. Well, normally I bother a little bit
Oh,
more, but
Basil's in
you
the
know what?
house.
This is laid back.
Namaste,
so-
Basil. Namaste, Basil.
You know, I don't know what you guys have planned to talk about,
We-
so I'll go with.
You know what? I have it wide open. I know Whitney has some topics, so we may start out with her topics, and then we'll just go from there. It's just crazy. Even to plan a topic is ridiculous because we'll just start
Yeah.
out with something and we'll go off on other directions. So I've been gardening all day and not really paying much attention. So I'm
Well,
gonna.
since I was talking about hair color, I've been watching all this stuff on Twitter blow up about the woman that was put in jail for having her opening her salon. Is
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
following
Oh,
that?
whoa, what?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. Well, we can get into it in a bit. That was just a topic I thought of, and then I thought, well, hey, we could kind of talk about that, and also like kind of segue into the beauty industry a bit and talk about like how all these chemicals that we use, I mean, in makeup and on our hair are really not good for us or the environment.
No, they're not. That's
it
one
was
of the
just an
reasons why I
idea.
went natural. That's one of the reasons I did that because
Yeah.
sick of all
Yeah.
the chemicals. I just, whatever. And I didn't think I looked good in it, but I went and took the deep dive and like I'm just gonna go with the flow. Go gray. Look how gray I'm gray. I'm super gray.
I know, but it looks good though. I think it's cool. There was that young fashion blog. I think she was like a teenager when she started. I can't remember her name now, but she started this trend because she dyed her hair gray.
Oh wow.
Yeah, something like maybe, I don't know, 7 years ago or so. Something like
Veg says he's a
Anyway.
granddaddy at 63. Gazar says I'm also in North Yorkshire, around 90
got this
miles
book
east
today.
of Chris. Gazar, wow. Unstoppable
Oh.
Ralph Nader. Nice.
I could talk. I don't know. I just whatever you guys want to talk about. That's really the only two things I want. Maybe I'll talk about Nader. I got to help put his show together that he.
I want to
was
get
on.
my Nader collection out now and show you guys. I've
Okay,
been
do
collecting
it.
Nader
I
books
just
for a
got
while.
it today.
Did
even
you get
though
it
I told him.
autographed? If you order them online, he'll sign them for you.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, if you go to his website, I've got a couple of signed ones.
cool.
That's cool.
Well,
Okay.
I'm helping with the show behind the scenes because clearly I'm not for camera right now these days. But I've been helping with something behind the scenes, and I didn't actually get to meet meaning online Ralph Nader this time because they did the recording a different way. But I got to be part of putting it together, so it was pretty cool. And I met the guy who did his recent documentary. Can't think of the name of it right now, but anyway. That was one of his books that I've been wanting to read, so I just ordered it.
That's awesome.
But
Kelly.
I'll find the name of it.
The people you get on your show are amazing.
I haven't done much with that lately though. So I'm just this is with the Countdown to Freedom for Assange show. Randy Credico runs that, and I've just been helping him because his studio is closed in New York, and so that's how I got into doing that.
But still,
we've
you got Randy Credico on your show. That's pretty cool.
well, no, I'm helping him with his behind the
Okay,
scenes.
well,
That's what I'm
okay.
doing.
Either way, I saw you in a notification with Randy
Oh,
Credico. So I'm like, wow, Kelly Lane, Randy Credico. That's pretty freaking cool. That's awesome.
yeah, I met him a couple times at Left Forum 2 summers in a row, and I don't even really remember how it happened, but he, you know, he's a self-professed Luddite, and I'm not really that much better with technology, but because I'd run these live streams and just using Zoom and stuff, and then Jimmy Sunderland, I don't know if anybody knows who she is, she's helping too because she does the editing, so I'm helping put it together, and then she really does the hard work of, you know, the tedious taking the clips and everything and fixing.
Oh
But
God, I wish I could.
anyway,
I got skill.
yeah, I don't. So anyway, I'm the one that like puts, you know, where the breaks go in when Randy pauses and says we're going to show this clip. And I did get to meet John Pilger. That was
Wow,
amazing.
that's cool.
Just to talk to that man for 5 seconds was like the coolest thing because, as you know, he's like hero in journalism, you know. So it's been fun. We're doing something Friday. I guess it's really like a tribute to all the activists that have been out on the street, you know, for in support of Assange for the last 8 years. Because I guess something happened. I didn't have time to dive into it, but I guess the police have now made people scatter that are out there because of COVID. But if they're outside protesting, so of course now the rest of the trial is postponed till September. But
half the time I think that this whole COVID thing was meant to put a kibosh on all the protests that
I do
need to
too.
happen. Just half the time I'm there, you know.
It's hard not to start thinking that way sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's like
if anybody's interested, go to it's Countdown to Freedom for Assange.
okay,
And
definitely go there.
Assange Countdown to Freedom.com, and you can see all the interviews. And I've just been helping behind the scenes for the last I think 4 shows.
Wow.
So it was Craig Murray and John Pilger, Ralph Nader, and we'll be on the 4th, I met the woman whose sister was killed at Kent State.
Oh, really?
That's a great episode, you know, and that was just unreal to hear her talk about being 15 and getting off the bus and hearing that her sister had been killed for saying flowers, not bullets. Basically, you know, she was protesting wars. So. Anyway, sorry, I got off on that topic.
No, thank you for all that, Kelly. Really, I mean, it's amazing. Thank you so much for showing up today too, because I always love having you on.
Next time, I think I'll at least bother to push. I'm in my pajama pants, and I'm like, I'll just wear my sweater. Oh well.
I'm in shorts and a tank top, but it's the the water protesters tank top that I bought. You can't really see it, but it's all about the earth. Listen to the earth she speaks to, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's all about the protesters, water's life protesters. So, Brown is in the house too. Did I say Basil and Osama? I know I said Hans. Okay. I know there's someone I saw talk in the chat while things was going on, but damn, I love these people. We have the best chatters ever, but they go by so fast. So if you want me to see your chat, please tag it with @the_NetTripProgressive or at the what's your hand? Any of your handles would be great, especially if you're
The Green Report.
The Green Report. Okay. Is that what your handle is on there? @the_Green Report?
Okay. I think so, yeah. And then it like highlights. It's kind of
okay. @Kelly Lane, @Shonda.
Yeah, I think in the YouTube chat, that's it. So, Shonda, sorry, because we haven't met. What's kind of your area of focus?
Well, I came in as a delegate for Bernie in 2016, just a straight vote blue, no matter who,
I wasn't a vote blue no
naive.
matter who, but I was a Bernie delegate.
And well, I woke up very quickly. I would say by the
Mm.
end of 2015, I was like, wait a minute. And I realized that I'd been voting against my own best interests my whole entire life. And then, going inside the Democratic Party, we weren't welcomed. We were shunned. I mean, everybody knows the tactics they used on us at the convention in 2016. I was so shocked when I left Philadelphia to have stingrays used on us and the tactics that the police used on top of the tactics of the DNC. I came home with a state of shock of like, how do we fix this? What can we do? Because I
Mhm.
got 3 grown kids and they can't go to school and they're having kids and no health care. My husband just had a heart attack and a double bypass because of years of
Mm.
not being able to afford his insulin. So I jumped in full force with both feet, fighting for Medicare for all. Basically, the Dems pushed back so hard on us. I became an elected PCO and I did stay and fight with inside the party for the last 4 years, but I knew we wouldn't accomplish much. So I really took to issues. So I've been down to the border. We've done, protesting the School of the Americas and them taking, children from these women and locking them up. No nukes, I've really been supporting the divest out of these companies that are making these nuclear annihilation weapons. And most people don't realize that their investment portfolios are wrapped up in most of these companies, Honeywell and, Raytheon. We don't even realize that our 401ks are sunk into these companies. So trying to make people locally understand that, hey, you have the power to pull your money away from these. So I've just been fighting on every front. If it's, for the greater good, for the earth, I'm there, I'm fighting.
That's
So
awesome.
I was in Philly also, right behind the gate for a short time. Yeah, the Democracy Coffin
Yep.
on video. It's funny how many people I've met now later that we were all right there. Of course, I
Me
don't
too.
remember seeing you, but yeah, wow. That was my eye opener. My focus is kind of more the media, I guess. But that was really just, you pulled the curtain back and you can't unsee it. Like, I was out on the street seeing that and then went back to my Airbnb and turned on the television and it's pretty balloons and, the way that it was presented on television, it was just, I don't know how else to explain it. You probably all had that
I
aha moment.
wasn't watching it on television. I was watching it on Bernie 2016 TV. That's where
Mhm.
I was watching it. So I saw a totally different vision than what people saw in major news media.
Mm.
So
I didn't
I
really get to watch it. Because I took this trip called the Journey for Bernie, where we took
mhm.
25 strangers and we crammed into 4 vans, and we literally drove from Seattle to Philadelphia in
Oh
3
my
days in the heat. I mean, we're all strong organizers, so you put that many alphas and vans together. I mean, there was people wanting to jump like in Wyoming, like there was one guy playing a flute behind my ear at 2:00 in the morning. It was this crazy thing. And then we camped in New Jersey at this old camp called Parvin. I want to say it was a concentration camp back in the 40s. But anyway, so we stayed there and then we would drive into Philadelphia every day because we wanted to be kind of away from all of that. But after the first day of realizing what they were doing down there, we packed up our stuff and we occupied FDR. So I literally showered with a hose in the middle of FDR Park in Philadelphia.
Were
So
you
we
there when
just
it was
stayed.
pouring? Wasn't it pouring rain right after
Oh,
they brought the
when
coffin through?
when
Was
they
that
brought the coffin, I say God cried. That's when the
it?
skies opened up, and I've never seen a storm like that. Trying to explain
I
to
know, it
people,
was, yeah,
yeah,
I was soaked.
it was insane. Yeah, I mean the whole thing was insanity, but it's just a big blur of just heat and heartbreak and
Mhm.
cops and helicopters and
Yeah.
stingrays. I mean the technology in our phones, that was the biggest thing I came out of there with. Was I could not believe how they could attack our data in our phones. I was buying data cards and a hotspot and reloading it like 3 times a day because they would just, those stingrays, they can just go right into your phone, suck your data
Mhm.
out, suck your videos. I had videos of when this gate behind me got opened and the cops rushed out, and my husband was behind me recording. And by the time we got back into camp, the video was gone off my phone. They would just go in and wipe your phone clean.
Really? Wow.
Yes, it
Okay.
happens so much.
Wow. I wasn't really recording that much at that point, just the democracy coffin part. But
I was
wow.
watching it live, but and it just sickened me. And I was done after 2016, and that's when I'm like, okay, everything's rigged. This is all
Yeah.
fake. It's not real
So you were
anymore.
watching it on Bernie 2016 TV, though. What was such an eye opener for me was just seeing that, like, most or whatever, I don't know what the actual numbers are. I know more and more people now are turning off the television, but it just this eye opener that what you're seeing on television is some alternate reality that is not really what's happening, and that was just blew my mind. Like, I knew I knew that was the case, but it was so evident at that point. Like, I couldn't look back.
This is
So,
how I understand people saying that we live in the Matrix. I never understood that
mhm,
until after the
mhm.
2016 election. And I'm like, yeah, we do live in the Matrix because the media is not portraying the truth. They're
Right.
portraying the truth they want you to see, not reality. So we are living in a Matrix. We're not living in reality. It's
I don't
made
think
up.
you can. If I try to put a YouTube clip in the chat, it won't let me do that, right? I'll have to
Um,
put it
if
somewhere else.
you can because you're a wrench, right? I made you a wrench.
Yeah, but it seems like I don't know if YouTube allows it. I'll try.
Yeah,
And if
go ahead and try. You should be okay
but
because
there's
you're a wrench. You should be able to put a link in there. Um,
okay, because there was another thing. It was all that summer that was it was being there in Philly, and then this clip I'll put in a minute, and then the shooting of Philando Castile that really just blew my mind because I happened to catch that. You know that one where he was shot in his car and there was the 4-year-old in the back. I happened to catch it like
oh,
10 minutes in. So I was watching it live and my heart was just thumping and I just couldn't believe this is the country I live in. I mean, that's I kept saying. But the clip I'll share is from when Bernie endorsed Hillary, I think in New Hampshire. And I know, but there's a scene. It is so disturbing. There are these two women in the audience, and they're in their 50s, 60s probably, and they're defiantly holding up their Bernie signs.
hmm
And Bernie's on stage with Hillary, and she's just standing there looking smug, and he's looking, sheepish, and they're trying to do
don't
that.
bring those memories back. That's so bad.
No, but we have to, so people won't fall for it again.
Yeah.
But
I
they
didn't
were
fall for it again. I was done. I
but
was
they were
done.
trying to
Okay,
frame, you
Shonda, I'm
know.
gonna make you a moderator because you have to be.
So they had a security guard come around and rip. Have you seen it?
I've had them ripped out of my hands by people in meetings many times.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
this security guard he keeps lunging at this one woman and finally manages to rip part of it. And her friend is standing there like, can't believe what he's doing. But they didn't want to pan to the audience and have this be on camera, right? That's the feeling I got from it.
Mhm.
So finally he rips like half her sign is gone. And she's just like, just defiant, and standing there holding it up. But it shocked me. I thought, wow, this is in America. This is our free speech. It was just so disturbing.
So
There's a
Anyway,
Liquor
I'll see if
says,
I can
really
did you
find it.
see Bill? Or sorry, I wanted to say Billary, but did you see Bernie kiss Hillary's ring? Oh my God! I mean,
there's a
kind of
really
metaphorically,
great
yeah. So
video called The Bat Shittery of the DNC. You can find it on YouTube. It's a small
Mhm.
channel that's very well researched that did it. And
mhm.
it really breaks down inside the convention and the tactics that they
Mhm.
use, piping in the white noise,
Right.
hiring seat
Yeah,
fillers,
I watched all of that on live stream from different channels, all of it.
yeah.
What was her name? Debbie from
Oh, the
whatever.
sane progressive.
Yes, the same
Oh yeah.
progressive.
I
She went a little nuts in the end, but she
she's a
was really
sweetheart though. She's passionate.
I love how her passion. I wish she was still on the air because she really did contribute a lot to
She did. I watched
exposing
Yeah.
her a lot.
a lot of the crap that was going on. And she was right there in the action filming it. So I did watch her. She was fabulous.
Yeah, I actually hung out with Debbie in Philadelphia a couple of
Did
times,
you?
2 days in a row. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Lucky
Yeah,
you.
she covered the election fraud stuff that was going
Yes,
on.
she covered a lot of that. She was great at covering that. The thing that killed her was covering or
Vegas.
trying to say that the mass shootings were not real, that they were fake. That's what killed her. I mean, why the hell? I mean, when real people die in real shootings, don't
Yeah.
fucking say it didn't happen. Don't say it's fake. That's what killed
Yeah,
her.
she lost me at the wheelbarrows full of dummies. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I just don't understand why we went that way. I don't know. But
Yeah, she lost me at the point where she was saying that the Sandy Hook and all that didn't actually happen. You know,
Mhm.
you can say all you want that it was something contrived by the government or whatever, but to say it didn't happen at all and it was all actors when real families had to deal with it and real families had kids that died and all that, I'm out. I'm out at that point. I
Mhm.
just can't. I just can't.
Well, Alex Jones is paying for saying what he said. The family sued him, and I think just
Yeah.
this week the ruling came down. He has to pay them.
Yeah, that's probably why she got out of it, but why did she have to go that direction? I
Well,
mean,
see,
I would have been happy if she just stayed with the election fraud stuff. I mean,
that's why it's so important that we don't go down. It's a slippery slope, and you start uncovering things that are real. The conspiracy theories are real, but you can't slide into Alex Jones territory. I don't know how you have that stop.
you're
Something.
done.
But it becomes that, it's one side against the other, and you end up on that team, and then it ruins all the work you did exposing the stuff that's really,
Right.
True.
Like I've been told my whole entire life, pick your battles. Right?
right.
Okay, Whitney has some topics.
Okay, so we're gonna switch to. We can go back to politics. It's interesting, but
No, go ahead, please.
Unless she freezes. Damn it. No, you're good.
No, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
Always happens
So-
at the most inopportune times.
It has to do with heat. So about by 2070, the whole global average temperature is supposed to be, well, by 2100, the global average temperature is supposed to be projected to be 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. So right now we're at 1.1 degrees Celsius, and that threshold that the Paris Agreement gave us to say we can't go beyond 1.5 or we're going to have catastrophic things start to happen with the environment, which we're kind of seeing now, right, with the bushfires in Australia that just happened. But so this particular study talked about how by 2070 they singled out the 2070s. About 1 billion people are basically going to have to be forced to move out of certain areas. Maybe you guys heard this before. Just we're going to have these mass migration issues because parts of the planet are not going to be livable. Right, parts in India are going to be too extreme, too much heat. Right, but there's like 1 point, who knows, billion people. Right, so how? What is going to happen to all these people?
They're going to try to move north, and
This
if
is
you
just
don't think you're going to be affected by mass migration to the north, and I honestly think that's why they want to close the borders
right interesting.
to the
Yeah.
south of us, because everyone's going to want to migrate north. They don't care about the northern border. So
We've already seen this affecting the United States. We had a tribe in Louisiana that has already lost its land and has had to relocate because of rising sea levels. And I think Florida, Louisiana, these outlying areas will be the first to be affected by it.
But it's also the extreme heat issue. Is just we are projecting to have these extreme temperatures in less than like 50 years, where parts of the planet are not going to be habitable in like a generation or maybe even less. It's just so intense to think about. And yeah, so the global average temperature, we're gearing to go towards an unlivable level. Humans have never seen it, right? We're about to be, 2016. Sorry, I'm throwing a lot of information out. 2016 was our hottest year on record, according to NOAA and NASA. And then, 2020 is projected to become possibly the hottest year on record. So we'll see.
I just think it's really optimistic to think those global temperatures, and that's not going to happen way sooner. To say it's going to happen in 2050 or whatever, it's like, no, it's gonna be happening way sooner than that.
Right, things
Just brace for it. Okay, wait, Osama number 5 tagged me in a comment. Please do that if you want me to read your comments, because it's really hard to keep track if you do not do that or do a super chat. But everyone's broke, so just tag me or somebody else in here so we can read it. Did or did not planes hit WTC? Okay. help me remember I know
World
that
Trade Center.
World Trade Center. Yes, thank you.
Mm.
It's like I know that has to do with 9/11. I was kind of watching live on TV. Like
Oh,
I saw the second plane hit live on TV. I think it's the building number 7 or whatever that that has no reason to have gone down at all. Osama, oh my God, you can talk about this on Monday Madness for Christ's sake. you know, you can. I'm not really well versed on it. All I know is Bush allowed Osama bin Laden to leave the country and his entire family to leave the country right after it happened, and when no other planes were flying. So I mean, there's a lot of shit. I mean, that happened.
Was the question in the chat if it happened or
if
if it
if
was?
if a plane hit the World Trade Center, I watched the second plane hit. The first one had already hit, and I just got on the live news when the second one hit. My friend called me right
Yeah,
after the
me
first
too.
one hit, and I was getting ready for work. She's like, "Go watch the news," and I saw it just as the second one hit. But the building number 7 or whatever that just went down
Mm,
with no explanation whatsoever.
mhm.
right.
And the fact that there's no way the planes alone could have um, disintegrated those buildings. That's how the hell
Jet
did you,
fuel doesn't melt
Osama?
metal.
Osama, don't get us out on that down another fucking rabbit hole. We have enough rabbit holes.
We was just
That was
talking about Alex Jones, and now
I
here we
know.
Oh
go.
no.
More rabbit holes. More
Oh,
rabbit
not
holes.
him. Just-
Damn it, Osama. I hope you
We
enjoy
should
those
do
mushrooms. By the
I'll
way.
host something and talk about that. I mean, yeah,
What's
Whitney,
that?
go on with your stuff because yeah, we're getting sidetracked.
We're
So
Oh no,
jumping around.
just so in such a short period of time, right? Let's just say 2050, for example, in like 30 years, parts of the planet are continuing to become uninhabitable based on extreme temperatures or flooding or sea level rise, right? So, that's a major geopolitical issue, I guess you could argue, for future generations, less than 30 years. I mean, maybe for us now. So, that stuff's happening, some stuff in the South Pacific, some islands in the South Pacific, the sea level rise is going to displace them, and they're already moving to like New Zealand or Australia.
The Marshall Islands. Yeah, she locked up again.
No,
Yeah, we got you back.
it's my internet. Sorry. Okay, I'm glad you guys are here because usually sometimes it doesn't work, and then Chris is left alone.
I know, and then I'm like, okay, fill in the gaps really quick because Winnie's frozen.
So sometimes it'll short circuit out here.
Superman flies on TV.
So yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, what do you guys think? I mean,
That's true.
basically,
Okay, Osama.
the environment is not going to be friendly to humans, human civilization,
Oh,
water.
it's not going to be
Keeping the water.
friendly, and I mean this corona, like the lockdown. I mean, think of what's happening. I mean, I am so against factory farming, hugely against factory farming. All those factory farm workers are being put out of work, and all the factory farms are being shut down. Yay! But now they're telling the ranchers to euthanize all their cows. Um, this is a problem I had with the vegans because I really want to know, and I have lots of vegan people um, on my channel, and because I love vegans, and I strive to become vegan or close, or at least pescatarian at the very least. Anyway, I have a
Presbyterian.
pescatarian, whatever it's called. I don't know.
Presbyterian.
Not pescatarian. Yeah, the
Oh
the
no,
the
start
close
talking
to
about Chinese food.
vegetarian, but they eat eggs and stuff. Okay,
Yes, yes.
and cheese and stuff. Okay. Anyway, so what I have a problem with is like, what do you do with all those cattle they already have and all that? And right now they're shipping in. I went over this last show slightly, but they're shipping in um, other meat products from other countries, and yet telling the farmers here to euthanize the cows and the pigs and the chickens and all that. So they just want to massively kill like all the animals, and I don't think it's really euthanasia. I don't think they're going to be very kind about it when they do it. Um, oh my God! I mean, what the hell? I mean,
I saw an article. I was just trying to pull it up. I don't know where it went. That basically us saying that all these viruses are starting a wet market in China. I mean, when we have these kinds of factory farms, like we're pointing at them, but
yeah, I
Good
mean,
point.
the factory farm. I mean, yeah, the wet markets are horrible. I mean, eating bats and pangolins and all the things that they do in the wet markets is bad, but that's really a small scale. Um, but where we don't have the ability with because of the lockdowns or people getting infected in the factory farms, they don't have the ability to process it. Now they're just saying just kill them all. And that's what would happen if we all went vegan anyway. And I want that to happen, but I think there has to be some kind of kinder way to transition over
mm,
to that somehow, and I don't know what that looks like. Um, Please, anyone, if you have any ideas. Judy says you have to hope that our future will involve not breeding farm animals as an antinatalist. The goal is to stop new animal life from being born into torture. Well, yeah, I think I already had that conversation with you, Dee Dee, where I don't believe in domestic animals and humans breeding. Like natural world, great. Just fucking don't breed any more domesticated animals. And I know that's probably seems a little extreme to some people. Um, but you should see the other side, the ephilis and all that. It's like no, I'm mild compared to them. It's just we've fucked up the world so bad, and I am the first person to step in and take care of a stray cat and feed it and get it fixed and all that. I'm the first person to take in a rescue dog, the first person to take in a rescue horse. Um, but I just at this point I'm like, why breed domesticated animals? Especially with what's happening in the world right now. It's like it's it's just kind of cruel at this point to do that. So I got
I found the article. I put it in the chat. It was from The Guardian, and it's basically the title is Factory Farming to Blame for Coronavirus? So
Oh.
it
is
goes into
it? Is it?
we don't know. I mean, we don't, there's so many things we don't know about
It
COVID-19, which is fueling conspiracy theories, of course, because we just don't know. But yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's
Dee Dee's
definitely an issue with factory farming just in general with diseases
absolutely.
spreading.
Dee Dee says the animals would have been slaughtered anyway for food. Ending the practice of farming animals is what we want. I mean, no, I kind of agree, but I kind of at the same time would rather see them live out a life as long as they can. I'd rather see them dispersed among um, smaller farms. They should never been in a major like factory farming situation. They would never have this problem if all the farms were divided into small sections. Um, I mean, even the agriculture, like food, like vegetables, they're having a hard time um, farming that because they can't bring in um, workers to come in and harvest the crops. So, I mean, would it have been better in to just have small family farms, you would never come across that problem of not being able to harvest the crops. Not, I mean, God, I hate the thought of slaughtering animals,
But
period.
doesn't it go back to capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes, it does come back to capitalism, but yeah, my brain is twisted because I love the animals. I could never kill an animal. I could never raise an animal for food ever. I mean, other than chickens where I eat the eggs, and those eggs would never produce a bird anyway because I don't have a rooster. So, and my chickens are my pets, so I don't see the harm in that really. Um, but this is a really like brain twisting thing. It's like okay, don't just shoot them all. Don't just kill them all. And they're not going to do it kindly. Like a lot of pigs, they'll just dig a big trench, shove them in it alive, and bury them. That's what they did in China. And I wouldn't doubt they did the same. They would do the same thing here. People don't give a shit about their animals. I don't want to see them suffer like that. I'd rather see them go to a home where they're taken care of at least until they're slaughtered humanely. And I don't even want that to happen. Oh my God. I just I just can't. I just can't process this information. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm trying to process this, but we are at a point where they're trying to kill all these animals because we don't have the processors because of the COVID virus and the lockdowns and people getting sick. What the hell? What do you do? What do you do? Tell me, please tell me what do you do? What do you do? I probably missed the comment that was Choctaw Warrior. Hello, new person in the chat. Please, if you want me to read your comment, tag me like Dee Dee Sunbeam does. Thank you, Dee Dee. I'm glad you agree with me because it's a hard topic. It really is. It's tough. And Bram's in the house too. Hi, Bram. Hi, Bram. I missed you on Monday. Hopefully you come on next Monday. Wasn't Bram great?
Yeah, Bram's very intelligent.
Yes,
So.
I think he's very bright. We have I wish I could pronounce his name of a new person. Quistunes? All industrial agriculture kills animals. Yeah, you're right. All of it does. Yep. One way or another, people think that it's okay to do the monoculture for vegetables and all that, but the chemical fertilizers you need to mine. When you mine the federal, you should. I've early videos. I show a phosphorus mine where they're literally blowing up huge mesas, like beautiful landscapes. They're just blowing them up and then putting them through the processor to get phosphorus, and that's how they get nitrogen, phosphorus. They mine it. It's not a benign thing. They mine it, and it's destroying the land, the biosphere that other animals need to live. So it's not a benign thing. Organic is the only way to go. Composting and putting that stuff back into the soil is the only way to go. Chemical fertilizers, they leach out into the water and cause algae blooms. Algae blooms kill the water life, all the fish and everything. It's you probably know about algae blooms being in LA, right? I mean, wasn't there a big algae bloom that went off the coast of California? Whitney?
I think so, but I want to say I remember more about Florida. I was in Sacramento for a while, so like I'm still new to LA.
Okay,
But
well, look up the big blob. They called it the blob or something like that. Anyway, it was like.
Oh, basically, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think the problem for so many people is that we're too far removed from these things. It's just like your portfolio and where is your money actually invested. Most people, your average person, is too far removed from it unless they're investigating it. Like all this about the soil, or someone knows 401k. So we're removed from it, so we can sort of say, oh, we're not culpable in the problem, right?
Right.
And I think when
we all are. We all are.
Oh, well, of course, but I'm always kind of trying to be, I guess, a bridge. I'm very much progressive, but I'm often kind of trying to reach independence. And I feel like when it comes to environmental issues, even though, I mean, usually when I bring this up with environmentalists, they kind of respond with, well, they should care. But I think too many people are worried about paycheck to paycheck, their own immediate, surroundings. And even though, yes, all those things do affect them, it's not immediate enough because everyone is struggling so much.
It's about to become immediate.
Yes.
For everyone. Right?
The way that I found that to sort of get into that subject with people that aren't interested or aren't really engaged in environmental issues is when you start talking about things like Flint and the water. And I always bring this up.
It's immediate for them. That's for sure. It's immediate for them right now.
Right, of course. But I always bring this up. I interviewed two candidates that were in Louisiana. They happened to be running as Democrats, but they were anti-establishment Dems. And they were both in an area that referred to it as Cancer Alley. And I don't remember what river it was that went through that part of the state. But there are a lot, and it's a very red state. But there are a lot of people that have this right in their backyard, and they have family members or they know someone who has cancer because of this pollutant. And that is a direct, immediate impact on them. And I don't think it really does a lot of good to say, oh, well, I used to always say Republicans care about things when it starts affecting them, that they're just very, it's a bubble. But I think it's kind of out of necessity that so many people are like that now because they're struggling to just make ends meet. And so it's not.
Think that's by design? That's by design.
Yeah, it is by design. And sure, some people aren't going to care because they only care about their immediate. They can put up their gate around their community, right? Not going to change the air. But I mean, for most average people, I think the way you sort of get them over that bridge to caring about those things is to bring up those issues that are, you know, like Ruffalo's movie, Dark Waters, and it took place in West Virginia. That's a very red state too. But I guarantee you, those people that have been impacted by DuPont and the chemicals and the guy's cows, that, did you guys see that movie? His cows were all dead. I mean, that's how you start getting those people engaged and bringing them over to that. Because when you, otherwise, I feel like, you know, how do you tell a family in Kansas that can't pay their bills, you need to be caring about the polar ice caps melting? It's just, it's a disconnect
No, I
that,
didn't see that particular movie with Mike Ruffalo. I did see Mark Ruffalo. Oh, anyway, I didn't see that particular one, but there's similar videos in Wyoming, rural areas of Wyoming where that stuff is happening, where people's cattle ranches and all their cows got poisoned by the bad water from fracking. That's happening all over the fucking country, and you should at least know somebody who's being affected by
right.
something like that. And yeah, that's how you do get them to care. I hope. I mean, but
But
it's
the approach is what matters, I think, because otherwise, you know, it comes off, and I'm just the messenger here, but it comes off as to certain, let's just say your average white working poor family in Louisiana that some of these candidates were, you know, hoping to represent. It comes off as privileged, neoliberal, college educated. I mean, that's their perception. Whether it's true, you know, it's not true, but you know, there's a certain, I don't know, it's just a certain tone that they see that as, oh, well, you're privileged enough to be worrying about saving the seals, and it kind of becomes, it ends up just being this point of
yeah, and then they
contention.
say you're racist because you care,
Yeah.
because you say you need to um reduce, if you want to reduce population, suddenly you're racist because I guess the bigger populations or the most increased populations are happening in um the third world countries, or is it first world? I get those backwards. I'm sorry. But
Um,
the less
or-
developed countries. So you're racist if you think people need it. But I'm saying the Western countries are the ones that need to really reduce their population. They're the ones that put the greatest impact on the environment. Although right now it's kind of bad because the less developed countries, because they can't work and they have to work to feed themselves every day. It's like they eat if they work that day. If they don't work that day, they don't eat. That's like literally hand to mouth. And we think we live hand to mouth here. No, hand to mouth literally is like you have to work that day to earn your food that day. And then they're being like forced into lockdown. They can't go to work. So they're going off into the wilderness and killing everything and cutting down trees and everything to live. Um, okay,
So
where do you
there's
put
a guy
that?
who runs a channel. It's Dave, my friend Dave, the radical independent. He has now gone over to Green Party. He voted for Trump.
Oh
So there you
wow,
go. Um,
that's quite a
but
change.
it was an anti-establishment vote. He never really liked Trump, but he's a former Republican. Now he's
Mhm.
gone green.
I think
But
everyone's voting anti-establishment now. I think almost
yeah,
like the majority of people are going anti-establishment at this point.
but he explained it to me like this. He said, you know, whether it's accurate or not, it's seen as like you're privileged enough to be caring about that stuff. And he said, okay, take some old guy who's got this gas guzzling old truck that's been paid for 20 years, and he hears this carbon emissions tax, and he's wondering how he's going to pay for that, or not be able to drive his truck. That is how that is viewed, and so we have to find a way, instead of battling each other, to talk about these things where it doesn't, you see what I mean? There's just
Yeah,
we're so divided on things that we shouldn't be. But
yeah, I agree.
I lived in Louisiana back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and I totally see what you're saying, because not only is it the economic status that it's the politicians down there, is so red that the blue politicians are more red. So basically, they're just being sold the complete right ideology. So they're
mhm.
told you're not allowed to think about the environment. And then you have these huge companies like Dow Chemical and Exxon that have just came in. Louisiana is theirs. They do poison the waterways. They grow sugarcane, soybeans, and corn in Louisiana. So they do a lot of crop dusting. That was the first time I'd ever seen these type of things, to walk outside and be sprayed with this stuff. I didn't know what it was, but yes, everybody I knew down there has got something that came from one of these huge plants, but that's what employs them. So they don't want to take these companies on because they've been at Dow Chemical for 30 years. That's their retirements.
It's the same thing. Do you mind if I tell a story about my daughter's camp in northern Pennsylvania, rural Towanda, Pennsylvania? You have to find it on the map. And this town it was once obviously a very, hopping place, but it's just falling apart. It's on this pretty river, but whatever, industries were there have left. And now there's fracking and a lot of it. And I ended up talking to one of the people that worked at the two hotels there when I drive up and have to stay there. And she said, it is horrible, but they are bringing business here. This town has been just decimated. So yeah, they're caught between, they know it's bad, but they're all impoverished, and that those fracking jobs bring money. All those guys that come in and stay there for months, they're going to restaurant, and so yeah, it's
right. And so that's where the Green New Deal was supposed to come in and help, right? But now with, what we've learned in the last few weeks and months with the Green New Deal, are we helping, or are we helping to poison more cities and towns?
It would make it worse faster.
Yeah.
Implementing the Green New Deal would definitely make things worse faster. And I've been saying that for months and months and months before this documentary came out on the planet of the humans. I've been saying everything they said in there. That's why I interviewed Derek with Bright Green Lies. I interviewed him 3 times on that topic alone. We got to have this conversation if we have any hope of finding our way out of this, and just to make it political and say, oh, this is your fossil fuel company, being paid by the fossil fuel company to have this argument, or either way you look at it, we have to have this conversation. Don't just shut it down and say you're partisan, or for the fossil fuel companies for having this argument. We actually have to have this discussion. If there's any ounce, and I don't hold out much hope, but if there's any inkling of a hope at all, this conversation needs to be had. So that's my.
I agree. And it's a hard conversation for especially our side to have. Because we've been fighting for this Green New Deal for
I know.
years.
I was fighting for the Green New Deal.
Bam, you're not allowed to fight for it anymore. What? Why? Tell me why. It was like, but then the good thing is most of us are open-minded. I want to hear the facts. I want to know why I shouldn't support it. And once I was explained, hey, it made sense. Like, why didn't I see that sooner? It was like a slap in the face that I didn't see it sooner.
Me too. God, thank God for Derek, opening my eyes. Endgame is that's what really got me thinking, is his whole Endgame book, and there's videos on it you can look. Anyone who wants to open their eyes to things should watch Endgame. He has the whole thing on video. There's 3 parts to it.
I have not seen that.
Watch it. It's absolutely amazing. Derek Jensen, Endgame. You will just get sucked in after, the first 5 minutes. You'll be like, holy shit.
I think we have to realize that we're the real threat. We're the ones that don't fall in line on any ideology.
Right.
If we hear something new,
we're the ones out of line that they want to just whip into place. The right wings, the strong right wingers are okay. The liberal class is okay, but us that are independent, it's
have you ever noticed?
Get in line.
Have you ever noticed how mad people can get when they can't pigeonhole you that way?
Oh yeah, it's first you're a Trump supporter, and those Trump supporters are so mad at you, or no, anti-Trump people are mad at you, and you're like, no, I'm not for Trump. I hate his fucking guts. He's an idiot. And then they're like, oh, and the Trump supporters are mad at you because they think you're a libtard, or
Snowflake.
It doesn't matter. Either way you go, it's that's when you know you have the right opinion, if you're in the middle of those two, I think. if both sides are mad at you, I think you're on the right track, right? Like you're
That's funny.
thinking for yourself. If both sides are mad at you, you're thinking for yourself. Okay, Bio tagged me in a comment, so I have to read it. And I know you feel strongly for Derek's view on animal rights. I know you do, and I feel it too. Let's just hope lab meat turns sustainable. No one would have excuses. Well, I hope, um, I always hope for a better future. I'm not, you know, okay, another one. Even though I eat meat and always will, animal welfare, at least until their death, is important to me. Bio, you're better than 99% of the planet. Thanks. Um, Gosh, I wish I could pronounce his tunes. Thank you all for getting out of line. Okay, you guys gotta tag me though. And I'm a sweet lady at Endgame and all things Derek are strong. Yeah, I loved Endgame, and the myth of human supremacy is another really great one. Um, I love that one. I did an interview. I've done 6 now, maybe 7 interviews with him. I think 6, maybe 7. I don't know. Anyway, I have another one set up for towards the end of the month with Derek, so it'll be a live interview again, so people can come on and ask him questions. He's a great eco-philosopher and author, um, an activist. He's amazing. So he always has thought out of the box, outside the box. So Endgame. If you haven't seen that video series, he does a whole lecture on Endgame. Watch it, and then you'll probably come with more questions for him. I don't know. Hopefully. Let's see. Do we have it? Because we're getting to the end of the hour. It's 8 o'clock. So, is there any last comments, guys? Just anything you want to say? I thank you so much, Shonda. Why don't you pitch your new show, Accidental Activist, again?
Thank you so much, Chris, for having me on. I just love talking with other like-minded women who understand what we're facing. I mean, to talk to somebody about the Green New Deal right now, their heads just explode.
Oh yeah.
So to be able
Oh, yeah.
to talk to you guys about that,
It's
it's
fun.
almost a release. It's like, oh, my people, thank you. My
That's
show is going to be The Accidental Activist. We're going to be on Uphill Media. We're in production right now.
So you're working with Oz too.
Yeah, I'm working with
Okay.
Oz.
I don't
And
know how
I've networked. My whole sense for the last 4 years, 5 years is network, get to know, because we knew at a moment's notice that Facebook could stop us from communicating. So I wanted to be able to have a network that I could reach, not on platforms. And so I have this incredible activism network of people that are fighting for everything we stand for: healthcare, the environment, schooling, all of that. So, but we're not born activists. It seems like there's always that one thing that kind of triggers you and gets you into activism. And for me, it was looking at my grandchildren and knowing that, oh my God, they're not going to be able to afford to go to school. They're not going to have housing. They're not going to have clean air, clean food, clean water. What am I doing? I got to be able to look them in the eye and say, I fought as hard as I could, baby. I'm sorry we couldn't save it. Because honestly, deep down, I don't know if it's savable. But
You're
I
right
want
with us. You're a true
to.
dame of doom.
Thank you. I am a Dame of Doom. I want to bring these people on and I want to hear their stories. I want to hear their ideas of what they're thinking. So yeah, I'm not sure what time I'll be on yet, but just watch for me on Uphill Media and we'll have a really good time and smart conversations.
Absolutely. And I hope you'll come back to Women's Wednesday because it's been
Absolutely.
an absolute pleasure. I'll send you an invite every single time. If you can't
Okay.
make it, you can't make it. But if you can, you can. Ask Kelly. I send her one every week. And of course, Whitney, who is my regular now, my regular co host, Whitney Alex from The Green Report, who I think is frozen.
You froze again. Yep.
Damn it, Whitney. Anyway, her internet sucks. There
There
you
she
are.
goes.
Oh, here I am again. Sorry, I missed everything for a
I was
second.
just promoting your show, The Green
Thank you.
Report.
And I just
And
zipped out. Singing off
damn it, you gotta get better internet. Anyway, guys,
my building. Okay.
Grateful Heretic, I forgot I didn't say hi to you. The Green Report, yeah. Um, Oz is in there promoting you as well.
Aw.
Hey, did you
So
guys
cool
know
to see the Salt Lakers in here because I don't know. I don't know why it's cool. It's because I've seen him in other channels, but I don't know. Anyway.
Did you guys know that the 1954 movie, the animated Animal Farm, was financed by the CIA?
Yes.
No, really?
I didn't know
I didn't
that.
know that.
I
I
just
did.
learned that this week in the talk with the woman whose sister was killed at Kent State. She and Randy got talking about it. I just never heard that.
I
Wow.
want to
Okay,
say
now I gotta watch that. I see the notification with you and Randy Critico, and I hadn't had it because I was gardening. I didn't, and my phone kept dying, so I had to keep taking it in to charge it. Damn it! I can't watch everything I want to watch. Damn it!
Did you know that the CIA has its own production company and sits in on 70% of all media that's made in Hollywood? They're
Yeah.
That
consulting
does
on.
not surprise me in the very least at all. Period. End of story.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
It shapes how we think about everything. But
Uh,
so I have been trying to do a show with Oz on Friday night. Not his fault at all. It's because I've been more suited for behind the camera lately. But I'm trying to get it going, and we will be. I think I'm not sure how many of us are going to be on at once. We did it once with 4 of us, and it seemed like a little bit hard to do. But so my friend Joanne Leon, she does Around the Empire.
Okay.
She's got a great podcast, and I really
Brown
oh, whoops.
Empire.
I looked to her. If you're interested in foreign policy stuff at all, or if you don't know enough about it, like me, I don't. I learn a lot from her podcast. So I think she's going to join me, but I think we're too late to do it this Friday now because I needed to prep some stuff. Right, Oz? If you're listening,
Oz is
um,
there. I'm a biohazard. Wait.
we want.
I'm a biohazard.
We're all being watched all the time, says
Yeah,
Veg.
and my lighting. I promise, Oz. I have my lighting, but I just don't have it on now because I'm.
Well, get your lighting together, woman. Lighting is everything. It makes you look so much better with lighting. Although I didn't bother doing makeup today or anything, so I didn't even do my hair. I just I
You
came in
look.
from gardening, took out my ponytail. I'm like, I'm ready. Here we are.
There you go.
That's all I did.
Well, and if you're interested at all, check out the Assange Countdown to Freedom.
Absolutely support Assange. Absolutely.
I think we can't get messages out clearly about any topic, whether it's
No.
the Green New Deal or whatever. If we don't have.
If you watch Black Bear News today, he really covered that big time of YouTube and how they're just blatantly censoring people, cutting down their. I know my actual views are way more than they're showing, and they actually admit that they're doing that to people. Watch Black Bear News today's. I think he's something about the swoon or something like that is the name of. Oh, he was gonna take that down and then do another thing. I'm not sure if you'll be able to watch it now because he was afraid YouTube would really screw him over it, so he took it down. And then he was just going to do a snippet, but he was talking about how YouTube. There was some kind of article where YouTube was just blatantly saying that they're cutting people's views. Like, no, your actual views, no, we'll just lower them. So that's I know I've seen it. I've actually documented a little bit of it that they're doing that to me. Like at the end of the show, I'll say I have so many people viewed it, and then I'll go to the show after that, and it's like 30 or 40 less than actually watched it. And then Sandy from Environmental Coffee House, she's like, okay, I clicked on it, said 225, and then I clicked, when it came up, it was only showing 125 views, like right after my show. It's like,
Well, I've noticed with all the Assange stuff, I retweet, and I'm sitting there testing, hitting retweet 8 times, and it never registers.
oh yeah, that's always happened on Twitter. That's why I got frustrated with Twitter and left Twitter because
I left
all
Twitter
shadow
years ago.
blocked
Well,
on
it's
Twitter.
all, we know it's all run.
All of
it's
them.
basically surveillance.
Yeah, it totally is,
What it is.
and censorship, surveillance and censorship.
But see, if
So.
you say that to your average person, they're going to look at you like,
Well,
you're-
the uneducated people that haven't been watching it actually happen it before their
yeah,
eyes.
I know.
Yeah, the people that are just like la la la, I gotta go to the mall and get my hair done and da da da. Those people have no clue. The people that are like paying attention, we know, we can see it. It's happening right there.
Yeah. Yeah, but how do we get those people to see? You know, I think it's little
Good question.
baby steps. Hmm?
Baby steps. Just one person.
Unfortunately, yeah.
More
for
of
them.
us talk together, the more we come together, the better we can get that across. So
And don't go to, you know, wheelbarrows full of dummies, because then you lose people that might otherwise listen, you know.
right.
We
Agree.
can't go into that Alex Jones territory.
Agree.
I don't think any of us would, but I think that's typically the problem, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're so right.
But the
Okay,
problem with the
guys.
algorithms too, though, you got to be careful what you say. I know if you even say the COVID word on Twitter or on YouTube, they're
Oh,
suppressing your
right.
video. So I mean, even if we weren't talking about it in a bad context, does that mean we're
Yeah,
being
they don't
suppressed?
care. They don't care.
They don't
how we're
care.
talking
The
about
algorithm just picks up the word and shuts you down.
it. True. True.
We have
Absolutely.
to actually build something else to host this on. I guess Rockfin is.
Rockfin.
Yeah,
the way
we're
to-
working on getting on Rockfin. Oz has already been putting some of my shows on Rockfin, and we're gonna work our way over to there. So we're getting there. I
Yeah.
think that's where all the progressives are going, is to Rockfin. So
But
hopefully
then we have a problem, because if we are all overhearing this other little silo and we're shut off. I mean, I think that's also the goal, right? Is so that we're not heard by other people. So
yeah. Well, I think we'll try to be on here as long as we can,
yeah,
and try to do all of it
Do
at once.
yeah,
But we all got to stay together and
Mhm.
communicate, or where are we if we can't build a coalition together. That's what I think we need to do, and maybe we can also help drag other people into it, be
Yeah.
sheepdogs, only better than Bernie the sheepdog.
Well,
Sheepdogs for the right thing.
yeah. Well, we've all got to stay independent too. I think with
Yeah.
our own. We all
You
seem to
have
work.
to. You can't just promise your vote like Blue, no matter who. You can't. That gives away all your power. All your power. They don't have to do anything you want them to do if you promise your vote before they tell you what they're going to do for you. So screw them. Screw Blue, no matter who. Don't ever tell me that's the right way to go, because I will never, ever, 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 ever do that. Ever. We're everywhere, says Oz. Okay, you guys, I love you all, but I have to
everywhere.
get out of here. My husband has to get up really early in the morning, and I tend to talk loud and keep him up. No, seriously, he gets up 2:30 in the morning, so
Oh,
I try to go to sleep about the same time. I used to be discussed by YouTube. Now I try to be amused. Veg. Vegmatic's another great channel. Go check him out. He's fun. He's really close to getting to 1,000. So we want to get him there. I'm Sweetlay. Thank you so much for coming. That's a good point, Kelly Lane. Our voice is being corralled elsewhere. Where do we need to plant the seeds for different thinking? I love I'm Sweetlay. She's so and amazing. Valhalla, I can't wait to see you Monday. So you can be grateful I spend half my day in demon possessed madness. Yeah, fuck Blue. All right, you guys, are you ready to go out with? Wait, you gotta do the live long and prosper, bitches. That's our sign off. Live long and prosper.
I didn't know we had
Yeah,
a gang.
live long and prosper, bitches.
Live
You know,
long and
like the Spock.
prosper.
I was just, or wait, Mork and Mindy.
No, Spock.
I'm
Live long
sorry.
and prosper,
I'm just
bitches.
Right. What was
All
Mork and
right,
Mindy?
Kelly, you had it. Put it up there. We all got to end on that.
I just got a major eye roll from my 15-year-old.
That's okay. Just do live long and prosper, bitches. We're out of here.
Live long
Bye,
and prosper,
guys.
bitches.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
What? Oh, I didn't know we had a
Come on.